Welcome back to Q-Tips with Techie Cari. We have made it to episode 10, and today we're going to talk about tabs, and I'm going to teach you some tricks in the Chrome browser, how to work with your tabs, how to save a little bit of time, and how to get some things back in case you lose them. So let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at my Chrome browser. As you can see, I have one tab open right now, and it says New Tab. Now, if you're unfamiliar with why they call it a tab, I've always heard that it looks like a file folder tab. So, that's why it's called tab. So, right now you can see that this tab is pretty big, and I want to teach you one trick today, and it's going to be called pinning a tab. So, to pin a tab, you're going to two-finger click, or like I call a cobra click, on top of it, and we're going to pin that tab. Now what it does is it shrinks it down and it moves it over to the far left. So that's pinning a tab. To open a new tab, you're just going to click on that plus sign. And when you have a new tab open, I want to show you another trick. So once again, we're going to cobra click and you can mute the site. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm recording these videos, I don't like extra sounds to come through. So if you're recording something, maybe you're speaking to someone and you have to have your tabs open, you can mute that site. So if some email comes through, it's not going to ding. If someone is calling you on Google Hangouts, it's not going to ring out loud. So it's a great way to kind of silence something but keep that tab open. And I'm going to click on it. And I can always pin this tab as well. If you want to unmute that site, you're going to go right here to unmute. Okay? The last trick with tabs, once again, we're going to open a new one. We're going to two-finger click. Now, reopen closed tab. This is one of my favorites because we've all been working on something and we accidentally close the tab. What you do, open a new tab and then reopen closed tab. Okay? So, those are a couple of tricks. Let's jump into ways that students can use the tab tricks. One of my favorite ways for students to use the tab tricks is when they are using Google Classroom or any other LMS, because students need a visual and they need to go back to those directions numerous times. So let's pretend like I'm a student and I'm using Google Classroom and my teacher has posted something for me to complete. So I'm just going to pull up some classwork, and this one says make a Google drawing. Okay, so here's the instructions. Here's everything that my student needs to look at. Now what often happens is that students have the instruction screen, then they're going to go up and they're going to open a new tab, and maybe they're going to go to their Google Drive, and they're going to go back to those instructions, then they're going to go back to their Google Drive, maybe they're going to open a new tab and do some research and so forth. What I always encourage my students to do, if they are working inside of a learning management system, if they're simply looking at directions on a website, looking at something repeatedly, I will go ahead and have them pin that tab. Because as educators, we all know that when a student sees an X, they like to click it. So if they have that instruction sheet pinned, the X is no longer there, it's smaller, and they can quickly visually see, oh, here's the instructions for the assignment that I'm working on. Okay. As a teacher, we always have tons of tabs open because we will be working on something and then we get distracted and then we come back, and what happens is we get so many tabs open, sometimes it's difficult to filter through just our normal everyday task. So what I encourage all teachers to do is to pin the most important tabs they use every day. Now, when I'm in the classroom, I have Google Classroom open, so I pin that. I have my Drive open because that's where all of my documents start that I put inside of Google Classroom, that I share with students, that I share with staff members. I have my email pinned, and then of course I have my calendar pinned. So every morning I keep those 4 things pinned up there because I always go to those every single day. It's something that's constant, and I like having them over there nice and clean and pretty, and I know they're easy to get to. Now, if you don't like the order that they're in, of course, you can always drag them around. Maybe you want to have your emails as the front one and so forth. But as a teacher, I always have those 4 things pinned. Okay guys, the next trick is for administrators, but of course teachers can use it and so can students. So let's pretend like we are an administrator and we are looking into bringing a maker space to our school. And of course we all know that when we bring something new to our school, we have to have evidence, we have to have scholarly journals, articles. We got to have some info to back up why we need these things. Now, as you are finding all these amazing tabs and everything, what normally happens as an administrator, you get pulled to do something else. You come back and you've got all these messy tabs and you want to have a clean slate and start over, but you don't want to lose all of your tabs. So what I'm going to show you is a Google extension called Tab Cloud, and it's going to bring some magic to your tabs and help you stay a little bit more organized. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to the Chrome Web Store. Okay, once you get to the Chrome Web Store, you're going to type in Tab Cloud with no spaces, and you're going to hit Add to Chrome. So you're going to hit Add Extension, and you know it's added because you see it right up here. Okay, once you have Tab Cloud loaded, you've got all of these amazing tabs open with all your information that you want to share with your staff. What you're going to do is you're going to click on Tab Cloud. And it has remembered all of the tabs that you have open. And you can click to name it. So I'm going to name this Makers Space. Sorry, I messed that up a little bit. And then I'm going to say Resources. Okay. And then I'm going to hit Save. Okay. It is going to want you to log in the first time you save it. So we'll log in. We'll save to our Google account and hit Allow. And now, when I come over here to my Tab Cloud, I can see that all of these tabs have been saved for me. So once you save your Tab Cloud, you can X out of the Chrome browser altogether. And if you want to come back and look at all of those tabs that you had open, all you do is you come right here, you come to Tab Cloud, click here and hit the plus sign, and it's going to open up all of those tabs for you that you saved. Now, this is great if your computer runs out of juice. Right before it runs out of battery, go ahead and go up to Tab Cloud, create that Tab Cloud, and then you're ready to go. Just one quick reminder, if you are trying these tricks on Internet Explorer, Firefox, or Safari, they are not going to work. You have to have the Chrome browser. So to download the Chrome browser, you're just going to open up Safari, Firefox, whatever browser you're using, and you're going to type in Chrome browser download. When you get there, it's going to say go to download, and it will take you through all the steps to download the Chrome browser. So just make sure you're always using this browser if you want to do most of the tricks that I'm teaching you today.